How do you manage that transition from innocence into the real world?
Good question. The security doesn't come from the outside. The world has always been challenging and always been unpredictable, and you never know. So what makes the difference is a sense of inner security. And so that your kids can face a very challenging world with a fair degree of confidence if they have that inner security. Where does that come from? That comes from the attachment relationship with you and their parents and their grandparents and their community. A previous book of mine that I helped to co-write is called The Hold On to Your Kids, Why Parents Need to Matter More Than Peers. I highly recommend it for anybody with small kids, because what it shows is that the sense of security comes from a secure attachment relationship. If you can be around your kids and be present and calm with them and really enjoy them and celebrate them, they get a sense that they're okay, and they get a sense of self-confidence. And that's where security really comes from. And so that means that whatever is out there, they'll be able to face it with some degree of confidence and trust that they have the capacity to rise above them. You can't protect them from the vagaries of the world, but you can certainly give them that inner armor, that inner sense of belonging and self-reliance. And you don't do that by example and by teaching, by the way. You do it by relationship, to a secure relationship.
If we know that helping children get enthusiastic about doing hard things is a good thing, where does doing hard things reach into, you talk about like low levels of trauma in your book, obviously right through into very difficult levels of trauma, but where does doing hard things step over the line into something that can be traumatic for kids?
Well, first of all, life is hard. Living is a hard thing, life brings sorrow, it brings pain, it brings loss, it brings grief. You don't have to impose hard things on kids. It's hard to tie your shoelaces when you're 2 years old. But what do you notice with your kid? At some point, they say, I want to do it myself. Well, you didn't teach them to want to do it themselves. That's nature's agenda. Nature's agenda is for each creature to gain mastery in relationship to their environment. So when you're 3 years old, tying your shoelaces, oh my God, I'm 80. I still find it hard to tie a shoelace. But for a 3-year-old, tying a shoelace is hard, but they want to do it. So doing hard things is in the nature of human beings. So that mastery, what they need is confidence. And if they have it, they'll naturally take on hard things. They'll want to. We don't have to impose it. Is that at the end of development, there should be a creature who is confident in themselves and ready to take on life's challenges. And so kids will take that on enthusiastically. It doesn't have to be imposed on them. You don't have to traumatize them.